Another bill lawmakers will hear has to do with privacy and your car. House Democrat Brad Tabke authored a bill for clear restrictions on the use of license plate data by both law enforcement agencies and private entities like Flock. The tech company Flock has used automatic license plate readers to help carry out the Trump administration's immigration agenda here in Minnesota. That's according to the American Civil Liberties Union. The bill had its first hearing last week. This morning, it will be presented to the House Judiciary Committee. That's happening at 10:15. But in the last hour, Representative Tabke held a press conference on why this bill is needed. We also heard from a Minnesotan who believes his license plate data was used by ICE agents to intimidate him. Take a listen.
Our license plate data is being misused. So Minnesotans expect that when they get a license plate, when they're driving through the state of Minnesota, that they will have an expectation of privacy. But that private data, names, addresses, information about those people are being absolutely misused across the state and across the country.
On the morning of February 15th, I was driving around Shakopee looking for potential ICE activity. I came across a blacked out SUV with an out-of-state plate. I spent some time observing this vehicle from a safe distance and just keeping an eye on it. After a period of time, the vehicle started to move and drove in the direction toward the east side of Shakopee, and I decided to follow. I sent the license plate information to a chat group that informed me that this vehicle was a known ICE vehicle. As we drove, it became very, very apparent that I was being led by a federal agent to my home. When we got there, we parked in front of my house and sat for a period of time. I was absolutely enraged that an armed federal agent had taken this blatant act to try to instill fear and intimidate me and had rolled up in front of my house. We sat there for a period of time. And I started to wonder, how did we get here? And the only thing I could rationally surmise is that he accessed my identity by my license plate. And now we're sitting in front of my house. To be clear, I was never operating outside of my constitutionally protected rights. This was not the first time that I had followed an agent. It was also not the last, but it was the first time that an agent had deliberately attempted to intimidate me, specifically by going to my home and in trying to violate the safety of my home and that of my family. This improper access and use of information has been reported time and again by others throughout the metro during the past several months. Left unchecked, what other information could federal authorities be accessing? In what other ways might they attempt to silence those who mean to resist them? As a U.S. citizen, I always thought that I was immune from this kind of harassment from immigration officials, but I rapidly learned that my privilege does not protect me.
It's going to ensure that ALPR data is not accessed, disseminated, or shared outside the state unless required by a court order or judicial warrant. It's going to require that every local law enforcement agency maintains data sharing agreements with the other law enforcement agencies that have access to their cameras. It's going to require that any private entity using ALPR systems to post signage and to ensure that their data is protected. And it's going to prevent any person or entity from selling, transferring, or sharing that personal data collected by their systems without the affirmative consent of the person who's been collected, without a judicial warrant, or without a court order.